A groundbreaking archaeological revelation from a site known as el-Ahwat in northern Israel is rewriting our understanding of the kingdoms of David and Solomon. Well, Israeli tour guide Yoav Rotem is here with the fascinating details. So, Yoav, paint us a picture of what's happening at this site.
Okay, it's actually a fascinating puzzle that we have to put together to understand. First of all, it's a site that started to be excavated in the early 1990s. And lately, professors or scholars from the Haifa University decided to go back and check some of the findings that have been found. And what they realized there that they're finding remains to manufacturing of bronze in the land. Now let's understand. They find some slags and other elements that showing us that the bronze made there in the site. They haven't found the ovens and the place exactly, but it's in situ, the leftovers. Now, what does it mean? First of all, it means to create bronze. What is bronze? Bronze is a combination of tin and copper, stronger metal that is being started to be used years before this finding, the 10th century or the end of the 11th century BC. But it enables human beings to create, metal stuff like weapon and other things much stronger than just the copper. Now, the dating of the site is super interesting. It's the end of the 11th century BC, which actually puts us right at the spot when we have this famous King David uniting the kingdom of Israel, all the tribes, and creating a strong entity in Jerusalem. The site itself is located in the northern part of Samaria, and making bronze actually demands a strong empire, or not empire, strong entity. You need to bring the tin from somewhere. We know the origins of the tin came from, so we need trade. It might have been brought from Asia or England. We don't really know yet. You need the money to give the workers, and it's not a big city. It's kind of a suburbia area, so someone needs to support it. So there has to be a stronger center somewhere that supported it.
And I think for context, why this, and we'll get into why this is significant, but just to give a little context, there are some archaeologists, I guess you could say, or schools of thought that would say something like the Bible exaggerated the extent of the kingdom of David, that the Bible overblew the might and the wealth of Solomon, that the Bible was, basically these were small little tribal kings. The Bible made this out to be a bigger deal than it actually was. And that's the backdrop for why what you're talking about is so significant.
Definitely, in the research, there are different kind of houses. The house of Tel Aviv, the house of Jerusalem, or people that minimize the kingdom and seeing the Bible in their eyes. And lately, in the past 10 years, we find more and more supports to and evidence to existing strong kingdom from Jerusalem, as described in the Bible in the time of David and Solomon. Something like we actually made a video about it together years ago about Sha'araim, the city that mentioned in the battlefield of David and Goliath, and other elements. Now, let me add to the puzzle a few more details. When they tested that's exciting. When they tested the origins of the copper that came to this creation of bronze, they found that the origins are from the Arava Valley. There are two sites in the Arava Valley manufacturing copper. One is in Jordan, Transjordan today, Fainun, and the other one is Timna. Now, listen to that. If you go back to, again, stay with me. We're at the end of 11th century BC. From the Bible, we know it's the time of David rising. We have, we have the text describing stronger entity in Jerusalem, and now not only this, we have the finding of manufacturing bronze, which means this stronger entity did something. Now, where is the origin of the copper? If you look to 2 Samuel chapter 8:13, and David made the name himself, and then verse 14, then he put garrisons in Edom, and we find out that the Edomites used the ones that controlled Timna at that time, Timnah is actually one of the Edomite sons, and Edom is the sons of Esau. And David became the Edomites became the servants of David, which is David is controlling this southern part, almost all the way next to Elat. So if he controls there, we have a strong control over the route, bringing the copper. We have kind of like a complete picture, not yet, 98% of it. We still don't know all the picture, but it's actually strengthening the picture and supporting the biblical story of David rising and a stronger entity in Jerusalem in the time of David. So it's, for me, it's exciting just to build the puzzle, just to understand the connection. I love the desert. I love Timnah area. And there's kind of like unbelievable things that they will find soon more.
I love it. And to a couple points. One, why bronze? Why copper? Why is that such a big deal? I mean, the time periods of history itself are described based upon what was being used, right? There's the Iron Age, there's the Bronze Age. So this is not just some small trivial detail. This is fundamental to the civilization's capacities and technological advancements. This is the whole ball game. But I think that's what's interesting, Yoav, and you and I love to geek out about this stuff. Is that the more that the haters, I guess you could call it, the Bible deniers say like, oh, this doesn't happen. The Bible exaggerated his kingdom. The Bible, there was a school of thought up until 1994 that maybe King David didn't even exist. And even if he did, that the Bible totally exaggerated his kingdom. And then, a place you and I have been, Tel Dan, they find this inscription written by King Hazael, 9 centuries BC, basically bragging about defeating so-and-so from Israel and so-and-so, but doesn't say from so-and-so from the house of Judah. It says so-and-so, Hazael, I believe, from Beit David. So this is 150 years after King David existed. Yes. And already in the Middle East, it's known as the House of David. So there you have archaeological proof that not only did King David existed, but his kingdom was known around the Middle East as the Beit David, the House of David.
Dynasty already.
Yeah. And, it's we've done stories about things they're finding at the city of David. The seal with King Hezekiah. It's almost like the more that the world says archaeologically or whatever that the Bible exaggerated, the Bible doesn't tell the truth, God's like, all right, dig right there. Which I love, Yoav. So Yoav, people are fascinated with this stuff. I'll give you the last word. People love to hear from you, Yoav. What do you think people should be taking from this discovery and other discoveries that are similar to it?
First of all, I think that one of the things that they should take is to come to Israel, to see the land, to visit here. Tell Dan, if you won't come, I'll go there and we'll do an interview from there to see where they found this House of David inscription. But basically, come to Israel. Second, it's unbelievable to see how, I like to connect it to today, how these people of this land, and especially the Jews throughout the time, but also before King David, the Canaanites, always there's something here in this land that always people prove to create strength and power from, I don't want to say from nothing, but from very minimized. There's no treasures, big things over here, no ores and stuff that have been dug like crazy, no natural, treasures. And as you see, the startup nation today of Israel, and we've been to a war 2 years, and people, who are not connected, if you look at imports and stuff like that, it hasn't changed. And people start to ask, are you in war? I mean, what's going on? Like, there's a strength over here in the land that is keep on proving, creating, again, we need to emphasize the fact that creating bronze is something that was only in big cities. It's like almost like having, I don't want to compare it, but having a nuclear power. I mean, it's something that only strong entities could have, or entities that could create or to use smart connections and to just be smart and get to the point, because it's so needed to their power to survive and to move forward. So that's something that strikes from the land here.
Oh, I love it, brother. Yoav, you are a dear friend of mine. Toda rabba, achi, and God bless.
Thank you.